Welcome all. In today's session, we are going to present the book Folkcommunication. The Folkcommunication Theory is organized by Professor Marcelo, Professor Isaías, Professor Laurenberg, and Professor Guilherme. And to conduct this section today with me, we have the pleasure to have Claudiane Costa. She's the secretary of the Folkcommunication Network. And hello, Claudiane.
Okay, thank you, Elmano. Thank you to Professor Marcelo and the other professors who were the organizer of this book, the first book in English of Rede Folkcom. My pleasure.
Thank you so much, Professor. Could you just present this book today for everyone, please?
Yeah, I have to say that our initiative to make this translation from the Folkcommunication Theory tests began in 2017. This was an idea that started when we perceived that there was a very large gap in the Folkcommunication literature in English. There was a few tests in English about this theory, which is a Brazilian theory in the beginning. But we try to ask for some tests from our researchers of the Folkcom network. And in the beginning, they were very timid. They didn't show up with the test that we needed, but we are motivated to go after and find all the latest research trends that we had in Folkcommunication theory. So I have to say that this book that we are presenting now is the result of a partnership with the Folkcom network, the Master's and Doctoral Program in Language of Representations of the Santa Cruz State University, which is my university. And we have also a very good partnership with Professor Isaías Carvalho, which is one of our editors, and his project of WESC English, which was a very good and indispensable instrument for us to make this effort viable, because we had the help of undergraduate students with a high level of proficiency in English, and they made the backbone of our translation team, which together, me, Professor Isaías, and me, we developed a meticulous methodology, and we have 3 stages for our translation effort. The first, it was the initial translation, a collaborative review with the translations and we, the supervisors, and the conclusive review with Professor Isaías and I, we conducted to make the test being a part of a whole. So that was our first work. For this work, a specific vocabulary and some adaptations for concepts that are unique for folk communication. So we have to make these tests, which are now translated to English, as a testament and our commitment to ensure the transparency and accessibility of this theory in English. So our efforts is a way for the folk communication be shown for the English-speaking world. And we want to make our theory, the Folkcommunication theory, widely accessible for English-speaking persons, as we also have in Portuguese and Spanish.
Very good, Professor. Can you talk more about the work of a Folkcom network to internationalize the Folkcommunication theory, to make it a theory, a regional theory of Brazil, but to make it a work international?
Yes, since very early in the foundations of the Folkcom network. We are trying to make the folk communication theory to spread through the world. We know is a Brazilian theory for communication, has some regional and some specifics that other communication theories doesn't have. So we started step by step. First, we got seat in the ALAIC, which is the Investigations Congress for Latin America. So we start there. We have now a very large group of researchers and scholars that work on folk communication. And so we started with the Latin America. Then we have a very good partnership with our friends from Chile. We made a book in Spanish about the folk communication theory. And we also made a very good partnership with University of Porto in Portugal, where we have made some conferences of folk communication in Europe. So we are doing our efforts we can to internationalize the folk communication theory. And now we made this step for going to the English word speaking with the folk communication theory, showing some texts that we consider very important for people to know about this work from Luiz Beltrão, which is the founding father of the folk communication theory, and other of his students, the first generation, we can say, like Professor José Marques de Mello, Professor Osvaldo Trigueiro, Professor Roberto Benjamin, and Professor Joseph Luyten, which we have made translation from these authors for English, for the the English-speaking world to know these researchers and scholars. So we are trying to go from the Ibero-American world to the Anglo-Saxon world, so we can expand our theory throughout the world. That's our initiative. We have this book that was published in 2016, which is the Folkcommunication en América Latina, Diálogos entre Brasil y Chile, which has articles in Spanish and in Portuguese. It's a bilingual book, which is very extensive work. And we have the other books that we have made along the time with our Latin American friends and universities. We have other books in folk communication only in Spanish, which was the fourth of our conference, International Folk Communication Conference made in Chile in 2016 too. We have a book from the conference made there only in Spanish. And so now we are trying to start this book in English. And we also have, because this book has a few tests, we have more tests that we want to translate for another book in English, but that's a project for the future because it's a very extensive work.
So thank you, Professor Marcelo, again. And as editor, I want to know, now you have two other partnerships inside this book, right? For example, you have Joseph Straubar from University of Texas, and you have also Professor Jake Draper of University of Missouri, right? How is this connection between them and you as an editor, and also with the Folkcom network?
Well, Professor Joseph Stolbauer is an old friend of Folk Communication Network. He started in the year 2000 knowing about us. He has participated in many of our conferences, and he's a Brazilianist, so he's a researcher of Brazil. Now he's retired, but he still have very good ties with us, researchers from folk communication theory in Brazil. And he was the first one to acknowledge and to try to spread the folk communication theory for the English-speaking world. And then we met Professor Jake Draper from University of Missouri, and also he makes the preface of our book, this publishing. So he read all the tests, and he makes a very good propaganda, publicity about our book, and he read all the tests and made a very good critic about the result of our work. And he complimented us in the translation. That was very nice. And now he's a very good partner from the English-speaking world, and we are expecting him to help us to make the folk communication theory get to his students and other students from American University and also around the world. So we have a lot of events that the Folkcom Network have done in the past years, when Professor Joseph Strobhar, Professor Jake Draper, and other professors from different countries as Portugal, as Spain, as Chile, Argentina, Mexico, England, and they come visit us, and we have now the knowledge that Professor Guilherme talked to me about scholars from Japan that wants to know the folk communication theory. And so we are spreading our theory far beyond of Brazil in Latin America.
I don't know if you have some questions just right now, Claudiane, but if you do.
Please, Professor Marcelo, I want to something more about the division. I saw at the table of contents that the book has a division.
Yeah, there are
Yes.
three sections, right?
Yeah, we have 3 sections, which gave us a lot of talking when we were editing the book. So because we have different kind of texts, and so we are made an like say a light joke in the first section that we call founding fathers. So those are the first scholars in Brazil, in Latin America, who started researching the folk communication theory. Luiz Beltrão is the first one, which is the founding father of the folk communication theory. But we have a test from Professor Roberto Benjamin, and Professor Luyten, and Professor Osvaldo Trigueiro. Those 4 tests, they go as founding fathers because they are the first generation of some researchers of folk communication. We have a prologue from Professor José Marques de Mello that he talk about folk communication, journalism, and public opinion. That is also the introduction of one of Luiz Beltrão's books. And the second section that we call dialogues is from some research from the folk communication theory, we can say the second generation, as we might say, because we learn about the folk communication from the first researchers, that we start to make this talk, this dialogue, with some new social theories, like theory from like one from Professor Antônio Hohlfeldt, where he makes the dialogue with Paulo Freire and Luiz Beltrão. So we start to look that the theories of Luiz Beltrão, the folk communication theory, has a very broad, a very singular dialogue with other theories on the field of social sciences. So we start to do this discussion, and those are the tests, that the articles that was from this discussion between ourselves. And the third section is interfaces, where we call how the folk communication connects to new theories and to the world that we are seeing now in the 21st century. So how we can use the folk communication to explore and to research and to study contemporary issues about the communication. So we are not trying to say, we are trying to say that folk communication is more than a theory that wants to understand the popular culture communication or the folklore communication, but we are trying to understand the contemporary communications processes.
Yeah, it's totally necessary to update this theory as long we have new contexts nowadays, specifically when we are talking about marginalized cultures inside not just urban but also rural perspectives, right? And also we have, as a very interesting point of view, many marginalized cultures trying to express their voices in the public sphere, and it's truly interesting to relate all of this folk communication theory with all of these theories, as long we can made or promote this theory as a Brazilian perspective, trying to collaborate with this research area around the world. Claudiane, I'm so sorry, I was speaking, but I realized that you have something to speak.
No, it's very okay for me. I just want to know, finally, Professor Marcelo, please, where will we find the book? How can we access the book?
Well, the book is published by Pontes Editora, which has a website. Let me see and help you to find this, Pontes Editora.
I'm going to try to share the screen over here, but I'm asking this permission for Claudiane now. May I just?
It's yeah. And you have to go there and the Pontes Editora, and you have the ebook, né? Yeah, Pontes Editores. You have the ebook for folk communication theory, and you can also ask for the printed version. So you pay the ebook is for free. So everybody can do the download from the ebook. If you want the printed version to have in your library, so you have to pay for the printing of the book. But we made this possible because we have this partnership with the master's and doctoral program of language and representations from UESC, and they wanted us to make this for free, the ebook. So the ebook is for free. Everybody can download it and have it on his tablets, Kindle, and whatever.
Yeah, it's really good to have this option over here to have an open access for everyone, because it's as you said, very bachelor's texts and papers related with folk communication theory for someone who doesn't know anything or want to know something more related with this theory at all. I'm just trying, yeah, let's try to simulate how to have access as a free option here. This is in Portuguese for everyone, but free access over here. And then you must go and select just one, or you can select two, whatever. and go for payment, it's in here, like ir para pagamento, the translation. Yeah, that's it. As you can see over here, you have the Rede Folkcom network website, and you can access everything related with the Rede Folkcom or Folkcom network. And for sure, you can be a member also associated with this network for everything else. And we have our staff over here. I didn't introduce myself, but I don't believe so it's necessary, but I'm just going to say that I'm the international director for relationships of this network on October 25 this year. And you are all welcome because it's in here. It's going to be on Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And you're going to have the chance to be in touch with many authors of this theory. And it's going to be a very good moment. You can go by yourself in presence, but you can also be online with us in this conference. And it's going to be amazing, I believe so. Professor Marcelo is going to present again the book over there with the others editors, and it's going to be a very, very good opportunity for everyone, right, Claudiane?
Yes, everyone is very welcome to Rio de Janeiro this October to our Folkcom 2025.
Professor Marcelo, I don't know if you have something more to express for everyone.
And Elmono for this opportunity. I have to thank my co-editors, Professor Isaías Carvalho, Professor Guilherme Fernandes e Professor Laurenberg Advíncula da Silva, for helping me and for the work we have done through the years. It was a project that, as I said, started in 2017 and we accomplished in 2025 with its publishing. And thank also the translators team which work with us for making this book possible. So I thank everybody, and I thank the Folkcom network to believing in me, believing in my projects, and working with us. And I hope we can spread the folk communication for English speakers, and in the future have some English-speaking researchers making research on folk communication out through the world. So that's our goal on this book. And as I said, we are trying to start the second book if God help us, but we're trying to restart this project again because we have too many tests that we are not in this book and are just as good as the ones we made the translations for this book. But was a very difficult work to do this by ourselves, and so we have to make some decisions, and one decision was we have to make this book to go live as the way it is. So it's not all we wanted to make the word to know in English, but is a beginning. So we hope we can make a second book and others, and maybe publish articles in English for people know what is folk communication research.
Claudiane, do you want to have some clues of the future of this book, or even to have some comments of this book, please?
I just want to say congratulations, Professor Marcelo and the co-editors, and come to see this beginning. It's just a beginning in English for communication theory, but come to see this beginning because it's for free access and connected to us in the redefolkcom.com.br to see other books and other initiatives of Folkcom network. I just want to say thank you and congratulations, Professor, and the other co-editors.
Totally. That's my words too. Thank you so much, Professor Marcelo, for this work in this field of folk communication, because it's truly important to try to internationalize all of this data done already for many other authors, not just, as you said, in Brazil, but also in many other countries in Latin America, and also, as you said already, in Portugal, as here, in Spain, many other countries. It's really important to be connected with many authors around the globe to try um, to be a real network, as the Folkcom network it is nowadays in Brazil. Again, we invite everyone to take time to read all the papers over there, and to be on touch with us, not just by the website, but also through the social media, because we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are also on not just in here on YouTube, but you can also be a member of this network to promote this future for science, because we want to make the difference in this very challenging era that we are facing nowadays through wars, and we want to be the difference in science with a very good network of people inside science. Well, again, thank you so much, Professor. Thank you so much, Claudiane, for this session today. And see you, everyone. And please have the chance to know more about folk communication.
If I may, I want to do such a final speech. I have to say that the Folkcom network is a family, and we welcome everybody with our hearts. We are hugging people, we are welcome and warm people, and nobody is outside the folk communication theory, because we study the marginalized. So we like the marginalized. We don't marginalize anyone. So be welcome to the Folkcom network whenever you want, and you have a family on your own. Thank you very much for being part of this family.